Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. And finally, after 19 weeks, we have reached the top 5 maps of all time. And we're starting this week with an absolute banger. A map which, in my opinion, barring one small thing, and those that have seen the original review will know instantly what I'm going to talk about. Not at length, but I will show you. This, for me, is the best map on the workshop, excepting that one thing. Once you include that one thing, it probably drops to between number 10 and number 30 in my opinion. But it's still, I mean, on the workshop, being in the top 30 on the workshop is outstanding. Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly where I place it, but there is one small thing. But other than that, if you exclude that, if that thing wasn't a thing, this is, for me, the best map on the workshop, and you are going to really enjoy today's show if you've not seen this map already. I promise you, you're going to be spellbound. It's a map which broke the genre, where we originally had the Bringer of Fire Dams genre, which started off a whole new thing. We had the Teddy Radko Bridges genre, which started off a whole new thing. What we have here is something which broke the game in a way that we didn't realise was doable. And it's not just that it broke the game, but they did it magnificently. You're going to enjoy it, I promise you. Absolutely going to enjoy it. It has got a little bit of a load problem on this particular load. Well, 2 or 3 attempted loads actually. As anybody who's been watching this series for the last couple of weeks will know that we've had a bit of an ongoing problem with the vanilla rocks and the vanilla logs and the vanilla chopped down trees floating. A snapping problem, and I haven't had the opportunity to fix it. Well, I still haven't had the opportunity to fix it, but for some reason it's not happening anymore. I promise you, I have done nothing. I have done absolutely nothing, and it's no longer an issue, so that's good news. This map, however, has a slightly different problem, which I will show you when we get down there. Don't worry, I will explain to you where the problem is, and you can just ignore it, watch the original review, and you'll see that it shouldn't be a problem. It is a problem on this load. I'll point it out to you. We'll ignore it immediately afterwards, okay? If that's all right with you. Good, lovely. So, yes, at number 5, with a 96% approval rating, as voted by you, is... trying to do this with a deep voice. Pariah. Yes, it's Pariah by LCC 1983. It's majestic. It's the best map on the workshop, excepting one thing. Okay, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Also, don't be too scared by this. It needs 91 items off of the workshop. Now, those of you with your potatoes are probably going to be a bit scared. Before you run off scared, do read the workshop description from LCC. They've gone to quite a lot of lengths to make sure that this is as PC friendly, as potato friendly as possible, including frame rate counts and all that sort of stuff. Do check it out, do read it, maybe even try it out on your potato. Make your own decisions, okay? I'm not going to tell you this will run on your system. I've not checked LCC's work, but looking at the testing that they've done, I have no reason not to believe that this map will not optimize. It's not optimized for a lesser PC. Now, amongst those 91 items on the workshop, we're using the Pariah 4K theme, the one custom built for this map, and it's as good as the map. It's truly outstanding. We're using the Relight Neutral, the Real Neutral Relight Colourless LUT, which of course is optional. Those of you that want to have a punchier LUT or a more mellow LUT or a less green LUT, you can all just switch those in and out. We're running with the one that's been recommended by the creator. We're also using procedural objects. Very straightforward. The only thing you need to remember with procedural objects, and this goes slightly against what I said a moment ago about the map being completely optimized, is if you're using procedural objects and you're using the loading screen mod, you need to go about switching your loading instructions to load enabled assets rather than just load used assets. Which, if you're subscribed to about 10 zillion things, means that even if you don't plan on using those 10 zillion things, you are going to have all of them loaded in as well. It'll take a little while for your map to load up, which it did for me today, given that I had to load it up 3 times trying to fix the little problem turned up on today's load. So, yeah, that's a minor thing, but that's just something for you personally to deal with. If you're not subscribed to too many things, then you're actually, it shouldn't be a problem. Really, it's never going to be a problem. Right, so we have got a procedural object fail. This is the thing that I mentioned earlier. There's one asset which failed to load the ploppable asphalt decals. So if there's anywhere, and there's one specific place in the start square that I have noticed, if there's anywhere that needs those ploppable asphalt decals, they're going to be missing, and it might look a little bit silly. So when we get to the start square, I'll show it to you. I'll tell you what to imagine. You can imagine it, and we'll carry on. Okay? It's just on... It loaded perfectly fine on the original review. It loaded perfectly fine on the Map of the Year series. And today, it hasn't loaded perfectly fine. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Good. Right, in terms of information, this was uploaded to the workshop in June of 2022. It currently has 18,798 subscribers. 1,957 of those have marked it as a favourite. It has a 5-star rating on Steam from 660 votes, and I reviewed this in episode 1517 of What's Map, where I gave it, shockingly, 4 stars for aesthetics. Oh god, I wish I could go back and change these ratings. 4 stars for aesthetics, 4 stars for detail, and 5 stars for gameplay potential. I think that 4 stars for aesthetics, maybe if I could juggle these scores around a little bit, I probably would switch that one over and give it the 5th star for aesthetics, drop the 5 stars for gameplay down to 4 for the issue that we'll talk about when we get down there, and detailing, it's probably a bit hard done by on that as well. Maybe I've double jeopardied it. I don't remember how I did the rating on this one, but yeah, I think I probably have underrated this one. I say probably, I mean absolutely, definitely I have. But yeah, it's a 5-star through and through. I know why I justified giving it only 4 stars for aesthetics, but it's, I don't know, it's a juggle. It had to lose a star, okay? It had to lose a star, but we'll get to that later. Right, anyway, the start square I think is here. I think that's the one, just off of this junction. So what we'll do is we'll start at the bottom of the map. We'll drive up and through, and when we get to the junction, we'll have a little look at that. But I promise you, this is gonna, if you've not seen this map, you are going to be 100% spellbound. Quite early on, I'm going to be able to show you what the issue is. And then we'll take a second glance at that on the second part of the as we conclude the flyby. Okay, how's that sound? Good. Now, oh, there we are. So the outside connection. Here's a little magical extra touch. First of all, the mossy rocks almost work perfectly with the theme. But these are out on the outside of the map. It's just, it hides the outside connection. Okay, very. What's going on with you, train? He derailed. I think we. Ooh, he's getting all sexy. He's rubbing his butt against Clarice the carriage. Hello. Add some sexy music to this. Oh my god. I did not expect to have that chuckle. Hello, baby. This is how baby trains are made. Oh, let me just leave this running for a moment. I'm going to make a meme out of this. I'm going to make a meme out of this. It's gonna be. I've no idea what's caused that, but we're going to ignore it. Okay. We're going to ignore it. Highways as well. So anyway, yeah, we've hidden the outside connections. Oh dear. We've hidden the outside connections under a rock. Yeah, it's a sweet little thing. And then we've got a very... Oh, of course, because I've got every single asset running. Every single asset. We're even getting steam trains. This is what happens when you load up a map. We're going to get non-conventional vehicles spawning. Even on the roads, there'll probably be some stuff on the roads that we don't normally see in these reviews. But anyway, hi. Shall we do a flyover? Finally. Oh my gosh. How long's this show been going so far today? Too long. I know. There was a lot to cover before we got started, to be fair. And then we had a train that was getting all jiggy with it. It was on the same line as that steam train. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going back for a train wreck. I am not going back for a train wreck. I'm going back for a train wreck, aren't I? No, I'm not. Right, okay. Let's get this out of the way very early. The thing which causes me to say that this map can't be the best map of all time, and it's not the animated digitized screens like these. If I come down here, you want to see these, don't you? You want to see these. Get a bit closer. Come on, get in there, BonBon. Get in there with your camera. Lag. So yeah, 8 kilometers, 20 minutes. And then via Marina. Oh, hello, and something's changed, and that's in gibberish. I apologise, it's not in gibberish. My Italian is Italian. I can't remember if it's Italian or Spanish. I'm sure it's Italian. Anyway, my Italian is as good as my German. Clearly. Moving on. In fact, my Italian's probably a little bit better than my German. My Germans are pretty bad. It's disgraceful. It's that so bad as it is, given I have German grandparents, German great grandparents and German grandparent. Right. Anyway, and just little things like here. Right, we're heading up towards a bridge, and we have this hash line here to draw the traffic. This is the level that LCC has gone to on this map in terms of quality. Subtle things that you would not normally think about. Look at the respectful distance back from the roads that the trees are as well. Honestly, it's just worth getting for these. Now, let's very briefly do this. Okay. We've got a dry part of the river here. We've got a lumpy river. I did mention this one in the original review. It's off towards the edge of the map. And it is lumpy bumpy. That one does not surprise me. This of all the small rivers on the map, this is the one that has the biggest problem from memory. I'm not going back checking them all again. This is the one that has the biggest problem of the small rivers. Okay, there's one more that we will be checking out again briefly as we go by, but I'm going to go fly by there. If you're happy to try and fix a slightly lumpy river or two, then that's the only problem with this map, really. So yeah, if you call it, is it a problem? It probably isn't a problem. Oh, I've got a bit of game stuttering now, and I've no. Ooh, blimey, motorbike there, right through my living room. Ah, I get so much diesel in this room; it's unbelievable. Right, so anyway, we've got just spectacular things like here. These double layer retaining walls. Who else has done double layer retaining walls staggered like that? Just little things. It's little things across the entire map. Quality of the field painting. Look at the quality of the fields. Okay, or field assets, I guess, not just field painting. And then we've got the power lines running along here as well. Just look at that aesthetically. That's looking back the way we came. That's the original start hill. Look at the original start hill, for Pete's sake. Okay, just everything's magnificent on this map. Everything is magnificent. Some more of those digitized boards facing back against us. We have a little lake going on here with vineyards surrounding it, which again makes total sense to me as a non-wine grape farmer. Big old sign here telling you which line to get into. This is not marvelous. This is not marvelous. Could that be technically an error? Could it be? Could be. Right, moving on. Moving on and on and on. Moving down through this first intersection. It's, well, I'm going to say it's a beauty. Everything about this map is a beauty. Let me just briefly show you the intersection. There we go. Just look how well it fits in here. Look at the curves on around the outside. We've got, again, vineyards, farms. It's a spectacular creation. Spectacular. As we move on down towards, we're getting now down towards Start Square territory. Now remember what I said, there is a problem in the Start Square. You're going to see it very early on, and it is to do with the ploppable asphalt failing to load in for procedural objects. So I'll show you it. I'll tell you what to imagine. Ignore, because it loaded perfectly fine on the 2 previous attempts to load this map, but today 3 loads and I've not been able to get it to sort itself out, and I do not know why. Everything's subscribed, everything's ready and good to go, and all the settings that should allow it to happen do. It's, yeah, it's getting towards the end of the game for me. I'm overloaded with mod issues, and I just want to move on and get away from all of this. All right. So anyway, we have another one of these here. Is this some kind of lay-by here? Some kind of lay-by to allow. We got one bit of. I've just noticed this one. We got one bit that's facing the wrong way. Again, I don't recall that last time. Maybe I wasn't even looking for it last time. But yeah, maybe that's deliberate. Maybe that's deliberate. I can't imagine that it would be. Oh, by the way, yeah, we have also got these spectacular highest mountains in a Cities Skylines game to look at in the moment. There are no mountains higher than those mountains in Pariah. Pariah, there is nothing higher. Oh, goodness me. Hey ho, hey ho. Moving on, flying on. Past all of this. Here we go to the Start Square intersection. Right, I'm going to stay low. We've got the... And again, I've also noticed with the chevrons, they're still facing backwards. I do not know why. I don't know why this... Again, we're going to ignore those because this has been the same for every single map for the last goodness knows how long. Right, so anyway, what we have is we have an elevated roundabout there with a elevated centre with the trees hanging on the paved area between in the middle of the roundabout, except for that requires ploppable asphalt, and the ploppable asphalt didn't spawn in. So what we've got here, these areas here with the floating trees, this is all concrete, okay, or asphalt. So that's all asphalt, and unfortunately, because it hasn't loaded in, it looks a bit silly. All right, that is not IlCC's fault. That's a BonBon problem, all right? Good, glad we sorted. There we go, just in case you wanted to know where Pariah is, we are here. This is your Start Square. And tell me you don't want to build here. Tell me you don't want to build here, and I will show you a liar. Let me just grab you a mirror first of all, okay? There's no way you can't want to build right there. Oh, look at the mountains. Spectacular. Spectacular. It's just such a good map, isn't it? The problem with these top end maps is it's really hard to find things to say, because everything is just like, ooh, look at this, and ooh, look at that. And half the fun of running this this channel has been finding things which aren't perfect. Oh, hang on. Okay, I imagine that we've got some ploppable asphalt missing here as well, because we've got a little bit of floating foliage. So yeah, if we see any floating foliage, it'll be down to ploppable asphalt. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off from here, because I've just noticed some interesting rail over here. Look at the interesting rail there, the loop-de-loops. Dropping the elevation down from the hill into the valley. Shall we follow some rail just for a change? Why not? Oh yeah, again you can see we've got ploppable asphalt missing here as well. Just on this load, don't let that put you off trying this map. There's no reason for that not to be a reason to play this map. Little 3-tier bridge, free width bridge. Again, perfectly done. Look at the placement, the struts. Everything is absolutely on point. And we've even got a... Get the camera down there, please, BonBon. There, look at just look at the signage. Everywhere you go on this map, you're going to find stuff like driftwood. Look at the texture for along the sides of the river. If your mind isn't blown, then clearly you've not tried building a map in the map editor. This is a creator who loaded up the map editor, that flat green tile with 81 blank green tiles within it, and has said, I can do something with this. And this is what they've done. Alright? If you think this is done really easy, you're wrong. If you think this can be done in a couple of hours, you're wrong. This is lovingly crafted. It's spectacularly done. We've got little things like this here, which is to protect from rockfall. I'm guessing that's a rockfall area, I guess. And the aesthetics. I mean, we've even got little things like here. We've got the drainage and irrigation. Use these network ditches. You never see them used well. It's a really hard asset to use well. And you never, in these maps, you've never, ever see them used well. Until you see this and you go, oh, well, that's how you use them well. Yep. That is exactly the difference. The difference between Il-Cici's work and basically anybody else who's ever tried to do it. It's majestic. Absolutely majestic. I mean, I can just follow the networks. We're not even really looking at the map. We're just following networks, marvelling at how marvellous it is. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go and have a look at those mountains, all right? Because the mountains, procedural objects, the maximum height of the mountain in-game it's slightly over 1 kilometre. But we, at this point here, are about the highest point that you can actually build in vanilla game. So that mountain over there is probably around about the highest point as well. Ballpark. Okay, I'm not testing. And then Il-Cici's gone, do you know what we could do on top of the mountain? We could do rocky structures using procedural objects to give the map even greater height. But not just greater height, dramatic greater height. That is, this in itself, this rocky structure here in itself is a work of art. Now remember that this is procedural object. This doesn't exist. We can fly through this, look. There we go. Game lag there. We can fly through this. Right. And I know that we can actually fly through the environment as well. But yeah, well, you can fly through that. Now, look at how it transitions from procedural object into terrain. I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, you know because I'm telling you. But and also when you're getting closer with my current camera settings, some of these things are despawning. But it's kind of hard to tell from this distance where you're looking at the mountain like that. It's not obvious where the one stops and another starts, is it? It's not obvious at all. It's just so good. It is so good. And then beyond that, so you're coming down, you've got the rocks are transitioning into rubble, the rubble's then going down into the erosion is just following down the hill, all clear from when you get the wet seasons and the rains clear all this down, and then this hits down to the road. Hopefully it doesn't flood in the road. Maybe that's a hiking path. Anyway, some beautiful lakes. What's not to like with the lakes? Then if we head back down the other side from a little bit of height, over some more beautiful farmland, by the way. Let's just absorb the beautiful farm. And again, look at how the farmland is really organically fitting into the environment. You look at that and you go, that is exactly how a realistic farm should look. So good. If you're doing farmland and you want to learn how to make better farmland, shapes of fields or whatever, go and have a look at a realistic environment. Obviously, if you're doing a US style build, this is not the farm shapes that you're looking to do. But go and get inspired by a real location. If you're doing a Dutch build, you'll want long, thin fields. Go and look at a real life location and just try and recreate that. Try and recreate that exact bit that you've found using something like Google Earth. Copy it across. Try to recreate that. If you can recreate it to any sort of level, you'll have done a great job. Anyway, let's get this out of the way. We've seen the lumpy river over there, the little thin lumpy river. Unfortunately, the problem that I have with this map, and the one that stops it for me being the greatest map of all time, is the main river is a little bit lumpy, stop-starty. And I've done it before where basically, and I'm not going to do it, I am not going to do it today. Okay, you can see we kind of got a little bit of a bump coming through at this point with the way that's spinning as it is. But this river, especially in the lower steps, you kind of want this to be perfect. And you can see we do have a little bit of stop-start going on here. And we have, as we head up this way, it just doesn't feel of the standard of the rest of the map. And when we have run it previously, we have had at times down here at the river mouth literal dry sections. So here, this looks like this is going to separate up, and again, this is, I'm not going to speed the simulation up, but this looks like it could separate, and then we'll get a dry bit, and then we'll get a wide flood bit coming through. It's not the most stable of rivers, and for me that is the only huge... If you think you can sit down and fix this, you have the skills to do that, load up this map, play the map, save the map, have fun with the map. You're going to have a majestic time. Okay, and of all the other rivers, let me very briefly show you. This was the one with the problem that I saw earlier. Has the problem sorted itself out? We still have some lumps and there. So this is the worst of the rivers that I found. Just to show you, and again, I have not checked any of these today. Let's go find another one of these side rivers, the tributaries. Right, something like that. So we got this small one here. Let's go and have a look at this one. This one seems fairly stable, doesn't it? This one seems fairly stable. There might be one or two little areas on it, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, by the way, waterfalls as well. This is a map that has frickin' everything thrown at it. They took the kitchen sink and they went, actually, the kitchen sink will look silly, but everything else, I mean, look, perfect. Everything is perfect on this river. This river has had any chance of lumps and bumps taken out of it by having all of these little collection points. And I think that first river, and this is, I think I did say this in the original review, if we'd gone with this level of detailing up that first river, it wouldn't have had the chance to be lumpy. If we got another one we can jump to just to check and to showcase. Here's a river as well, upper reaches of here where it's narrow and bumpy. Again, we've got all of the little control waterfalls going on here, which again seems to be preventing, possibly a little bit bumpy here, possibly. But that first river was the one. If you feel that you've got a task that you, let's have a look up here. Got a couple of bumps coming here as well. So a little bit of water mechanic issues. Don't get me wrong, but water mechanics are tough in Cities Skylines 1. They are tough to get absolutely right. But for me, on the map, which is absolutely perfect. When I say perfect, we're talking perfection. This is absolute perfection. The water mechanics, for me, are significant enough, personally, to have it outside of the top 10. Still in the top 30, easily in the top 30. I mean, I'll probably have it at number 11. I would give it an honourable number 11. But it's not about me. It's about you. And even though I showed you during the review and in the top Map of the Year series, even though I showed these there, you've still given it a 96% approval rating. So, BonBon, you can shut up now, okay? And I still stand by it. This, for me, greatest map of all time, with the exception of that one little gribble. So, magnificent. And we'll have something else a little bit different tomorrow. I'm hoping it's going to be magnificent. I don't see any reason why it won't be. A map that I haven't loaded for a long time, and I'm hoping it still holds up. But yes, so come back and check out tomorrow our 4th best map of all time. And something a little bit different as well. So thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking our... sorry. Pariah by LCC 1983. Did I do that? I have to say that so I know when to take the caption away. Anyway. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. You have hit the like button. I'm just checking. I'm sure you have. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, and a big shout out to all the BonBon buddies on YouTube membership and Patreon for supporting the channel. You guys are the very, very best. I love you very, very much, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.